Wasbir, it's been 4 days now, but despite all-out efforts, the missing AN-32 aircraft has not yet been traced.
Absolutely, Fahad. It is close to 100 hours now, despite massive efforts by the Indian Air Force, the Indian Navy, ISRO and other agencies. The aircraft AN-32 that disappeared over the mountains in Arunachal Pradesh on Monday, the antenna of AN-32 aircraft with 13 air warriors on board, it has not been able to locate despite the use of this sophisticated technology, sophisticated sensors. And in fact, to know more on this, I am now joined live by Air Marshal Anjan Gogoi, former AOC-in-Chief, Southwestern Command, a fighter pilot himself. Will go straight to Air Marshal Anjan Gogoi, a fighter pilot himself, former AOC-in-Chief, Southwestern Command. Air Marshal Anjan Gogoi, welcome to Notice Live.
Thank you.
Air Marshal Anjan Gogoi, what do you think could be the possible reasons for the disappearance of this AN-32 medium lift aircraft with 13 air warriors on board? Is it technical snag? Is it extreme adverse weather conditions? Or do you think it could even be pilot error?
Yeah, Wasbir, like you mentioned, it is very difficult to hazard a guess at the moment till the wreckage or the aircraft is located. I am an eternal optimist, and therefore, till we make a positive sighting of the aircraft, I do not want to come to conclusions. But since the time elapsed has been so long, it is difficult to imagine that we will get some good news. Having said that, like you mentioned, there could be any number of reasons why this aircraft went missing. The terrain is so difficult that the weather is so unpredictable, and
right.
Of course it is an aging aircraft. So all the three reasons could be involved in this.
Air Marshal, you talked about that it's an aging aircraft. It's a Soviet-era aircraft inducted into the Indian Air Force in the 80s. My question to you is, why is it taking so long to locate the aircraft? What about the equipments, the ELT, giving out signals? Why are our sensors, why are our satellites not been able to pick up these signals? Does it indicate somewhere that the equipment itself on the aircraft are absolutely obsolete and not upgraded? It could be one of the reasons for that?
No, you see, every aircraft in the Indian Air Force carries an emergency locator transmitter, ELT. And this equipment is supposed to transmit at 406 megahertz whenever there is a problem. We have not been able to receive any signal from this aircraft. That is mainly because if the aircraft has unfortunately crashed, the foliage, the thick jungles prevents transmissions of this sort, because after all it is a very small equipment. The power transmitted is less, but it also could be that the equipment itself has not functioned. Now, if you throw your head back to many civil aviation accidents, even where most modern equipment are fitted on civil aviation aircraft, such transmissions under sea, under land or underground becomes difficult to receive.
Absolutely. Now you see, the Arunachal Heights, the Arunachal Mountains have got this name rather infamously as the Bermuda Triangle of the Northeast. So when we hear this kind of a name be given to such a treacherous terrain, does it mean that this is one of the world's perhaps most hostile terrain for pilots to maneuver their flying machines?
Yes, you see, the Arunachal hills are not very high. They are between 10 and 12,000 feet, and but the problem in valley flying is such that you have to know the valley backwards. and due to any reason, whether it is visibility, whether you get into a wrong valley because of one of these reasons,
Yeah.
and it might be a blind valley, and therefore it will be very difficult to recover from that situation. Therefore, we have lost a couple of aircraft in the recent past in this area. And even during the Second World War, during the hump operations, the Americans lost quite a few. So yes, you might term it as a Bermuda Triangle, but I think it is a little bit, out of the way.
Right. Air Marshal, reports are now emerging that, a lady officer who happened to be the wife of a flight lieutenant who was on board that ill-fated or aircraft that has disappeared on Monday, she was at the air traffic control herself, and she saw her husband taking off quite comfortably from the airbase in Jorhat, and within a couple of minutes, this lady officer, who was one of the air traffic controllers, saw the flight disappearing from the radar screens. So now my question is, what kind of an emotional state, this lady fainted, by the way, lost consciousness, what kind of an emotional state the family members of the air warriors undergo day after day as their husbands, wives or other loved ones take to the skies?
Yeah, Wasbir, I must tell you that every air warrior is a professional, and such contingencies do occur. My heart goes out to the lady officer. She was on duty. She was performing a task which was assigned to her, and unfortunately, the aircraft went missing. It is but natural that emotions do get involved, but I'm sure as a professional, we will be able to get over this kind of a situation. But in every such event, somebody, if we lose some air warriors, somebody is somebody's husband, somebody is somebody's wife, brother, sister. So such emotional attachments will always be there. We are all humans, but we are also thorough professionals. We are trained to do our job, and I'm sure that we will continue to do our job as we are trained.
Absolutely. Finally, Air Marshal, what is it that you'd like to tell the government now? Because there are a lot of questions of very low allocation for as far as the defense budget is concerned. Why are this old Soviet era aircraft not phased out? Why an aircraft that was only partially upgraded, that has now been confirmed by the authorities, this particular aircraft in question only partially upgraded, why was it sent in or still operational in difficult terrains like the Northeast? What is it that you would like to tell the authorities or the government for that matter?
First of all, Wasbir, I would like to put the record straight and say that the AN-32 aircraft, about 100 of them which were inducted between 1984 and 1990, has done a phenomenal job, and it is a fantastic workhorse for the Indian Air Force. You'll also be surprised to know that the Indian Air Force air maintains to the tune of about 40,000 tons annually,
right,
in Arunachal, in Ladakh and other areas. Yes, this aircraft is old, but I have to tell you that every time an aircraft goes up in the air, it is certified by very, very professional people as being fit for the duty it is tasked to perform. Yes, there is a requirement to upgrade our equipment. We have inducted the C-130Js, the C-17s as far as the transport fleet is concerned, the helicopters are concerned, and I'm sure the government will definitely look at upgrading these medium lift aircraft also, and I'm sure that in the coming years we are going to get new equipment as far as the medium lift transport aircraft is concerned.
Let's hope for the best. Air Marshal Anjan Gogoi, thank you very much indeed for speaking to me on Notice Live. Well, viewers, that was Air Marshal Anjan Gogoi, a fighter pilot himself, the former AOC-in-Chief of the Southwestern Command, very accomplished air warrior there, speaking about the possibilities as to what might have gone wrong in this ill-fated AN-32. And by the way, efforts are still going on. Search and rescue operations are going on in absolutely full swing. The government at the highest level is monitoring the rescue operations, and the state government in Arunachal Pradesh is leaving no stone unturned to keep up with the search operations on the ground, apart from the army and troops of the Indo-Tibetan Border Police. And we hope to have some news concrete in the days ahead or even hours ahead.